Okay guys, so I've got a game here against Pokemon trainer Dwayne from Equinox on YouTube, and he's a pretty good battler, and yeah, I pretty much brought a random team and got my ass raped for it, so kinda sucks. So I lead off with the Flygon because I just wanted to test this thing out really. It's Scarfed, and I go for the Stone Edge on the Yanmega, hopefully trying to get it, but I get a crit on the incoming Heatran, so already I get a crit first turn, that's pretty gay. So yeah, Heatran is sort of past half and pretty good. I predict the HPI, so I go to Tentacruel to take it, and Tentacruel takes it pretty well. And I'm just going to try and set up some Toxic Spikes here. I'm not sure what else he has on his team, but I think Toxic Spikes will be quite useful. But then I see Sizzle coming in, and I think, well, maybe Toxic Spikes won't be that great, as it's only going to be affecting 3 of his Pokemon maximum now. So I decide to switch, but he predicts that very, very nicely and goes for the Pursuit, and that works out really well for him. So I know he's going to go back to Heatran, so I just go for a Dragon Pulse, predicting that, and there really wasn't much else I could have done to the Heatran anyway, so I just decided to go for that. So I'm going to switch out back to Flygon, predicting the Earth Power, which is good, and I do predict well enough there. And now I think I'm going to go for an Earthquake, and he decides to go out to his Aquarius, his Vaporeon, which gets poisoned with 1 layer, and Earthquake does a pretty bad amount. So I'm going to switch here because I'm fearing the Ice Beam, and I'm going to go to Tentacruel just to take whatever it throws at me. But he actually goes out to a Gyarados, and I find out that this team is pretty much Gyarados weak because there's not much I can do against it, and I can't really handle Gyarados in any way. So I go out to Jirachi, hoping that I'll live an Earthquake and hit him back with a Thunderbolt to hopefully take him out. But to my surprise, I actually don't live the Earthquake. I thought I would be able to. I have pretty good defense and max HP, so I thought I could take an unstabbed Earthquake. And I don't see Life Orb either, so he must be bulky, so I was pretty surprised that that did take me out. I'm going to go for an Outrage here, mainly because I didn't want Stone Edge missing, and if it did miss, I would really be pissed off, so that kind of sucks. But I do live the Waterfall, so I was kind of thinking Stone Edge would have been a better option there. I wasn't really expecting to live the Waterfall, so seeing as it took out Jirachi with Earthquake. So he goes to Scizor, which takes the Outrage and finishes me with a Bullet Punch. I get kind of unlucky that I don't get confused, and that sucks. I go to Donphan just to set up my Stealth Rock. And he goes out to Gyarados, predicting that I would do that, so that's a pretty good move on his part. And now I need to deal with freaking Gyarados again, so I go out to Tentacruel mainly as death fodder, because there's not a whole lot else I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I just leave this thing in to die to Waterfall. He Waterfalls again just in case I switch, and it's going to KO the Tentacruel regardless, so that was fine. I go out to Lando, and I decide to Bullet Punch. And in retrospect, I should have really U-turned here, gone to Arcanine, and gone for an Extreme Speed to finish it off. But as it is, Bullet Punch doesn't 2-hit KO from that point. And so he does take me out with an Earthquake and get a crit. I could have lived without that crit, but to be honest, it didn't make much difference in the overall outcome. But yeah, it was okay. I go to Arcanine now because I'm going to Extreme Speed, but he switches to a freaking Cress, and you know, once Cress comes out this late game and I really have nothing else to do, I pretty much just couldn't be bothered playing anymore, so I just used Dragon Pulse. I sort of predicted him to switch to Heatran, trying to pull off a Flash Fire on me. I overheat now and it does practically nothing, which is why I should have overheated first time. And surprisingly, I live the Psychic after a Calm Mind, so Cress is pretty poor on the offensive side, it seems. But I do Flare Blitz, and I do take myself out with Recoil, and it nearly kills the Cress, but I'm just going to run here because I don't want to stall with Donphan. So, good game, Pokemon Trainer Dwayne, comment, rate, subscribe, and thanks for 900 subs, guys.